Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Amber Janae, and my channel is what I like to call the Coffee Corner. The Coffee Corner is a space that I built that is all about building community. Here we talk about all things intentionality, personal wellness, and how to live and build your most authentic, well-lived life. I hope you have your cup of coffee because we are about to dive into today's conversation. If you know me, you know that I'm very much drinking a vanilla latte. I can't get enough of them. So first things first, I hope you guys had an incredible holiday. I'm not sure if everybody that watches me celebrates Christmas, but I celebrate Christmas. We are very passionate and really big on Christmas and the holiday season. So we just go all out. I don't feel like Christmas for me is any different from what it was when I was a kid. I just think that it's that way because my mom is just still like, she believes in her heart that she is Santa Claus and she is going to get everybody a gift. She's going to decorate the house. She's just going to do a lot. She's going to be extra. And I'm happy that I picked up that habit and that trait of just being a little extra. Aside from that, I hope all of you have just been enjoying this time with family and pouring into yourselves. Something that I've been thinking about heavily is patterns and habits that I really want to rid myself of going into the new year. So I thought, what better way to kick off this video than talk about some things that I really want to focus on leaving behind in 2025. Like, there are so many things that I have worked through and that I have identified that I struggle with that I really just want to move past and not carry with me, because I think in this phase in life where I'm headed, I honestly feel like these are things that are going to continue to weigh me down if I don't prioritize releasing them from my life. This year is all about stepping into the year with a lot of clarity and intention for me. And I hope that the things that I share not just, motivate you, but I also want them to inspire you to work toward releasing some of these things if these are things that you feel like you struggle with or have struggled with and just want to remove them from your life. I think that as we start to move on this path of like forward progression, some of the most difficult habits and traits that we deal with and that we experience, we tend to experience them a little bit more when we start to feel joy and happiness. And this could look like entering into a new relationship. And maybe if you are one of those people who's like a chronic overthinker and you're constantly thinking of all the ways that this can go wrong, and this doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could also be like just platonic friendships. Or, if you're starting a new job and you're thinking about, especially those of us who come from toxic work environments in the past, and you're moving into a role that you love and, a company that you admire and you're proud to work for, and the environment is different, you're probably overthinking and obsessing over all the ways that it can turn sour, or it could become like an experience that you've experienced in the past. This is what I mean about things that I want to leave in 2024 and I don't want to take with me in 2025. There's a lot of intention that needs to happen, a lot of focus and a lot of clarity as far as mindset, physical actions and physical care, personal wellness. These are a lot of things that I am working toward so that it does not interrupt my flow in my process as I'm moving toward greatness and success in 2025. Also, I would absolutely love to hear what you all are planning to leave behind. I think that we often turn to others for inspiration, or just to see, you know, what is this person talking about? How does this person want to move forward? And I think that sparks some things within us, like, you know what, actually, I had not thought about the fact that I don't want to move forward with this, or I don't want to move forward with that. If this video inspires you and sparks something within you, something that you feel like you hadn't really thought about, but it came up and you want to leave it in 2024, share it. I would love to hear it. So the first thing I am planning to leave behind is lack of self-preservation. This is a big one. For far too long, I feel like I have been one of those individuals who have prioritized everyone else over myself, everything and everyone else over myself. I have been one of those people who have put myself in situations or environments for the sake of making other people happy, and knowing that there is someone or multiple people in that environment that will potentially trigger something within me that is unsatisfactory. And I just think I'm in a space where I'm tired of taking it on the chin. I'm tired of taking a bullet for the team. That is not my role anymore. That is not who I want to be. And that is what I want to leave in 2024. I'm not taking that with me in 2025. I'm sorry. Like, if you are used to me being that person that is just like, oh, I'm going to be here and I'm going to be present regardless of who is around, and there are people around that impact me on an emotional or spiritual level, count on me not to be there. I've had so many experiences when I have said yes when I really wanted to say no. So many experiences where I lacked the strength and the ability to set a boundary when I absolutely needed to. And I don't want that for myself anymore. What I've struggled with the most is getting comfortable with my growth and realizing that my self-awareness and my personal growth also includes saying no to a lot of shit. Excuse my language, but saying no to so many things. In the coming year, I am overly committed to myself. I am overly committed to saying yes to myself, to protecting myself. I don't want to be in a habit of sacrificing myself for the sake of making other people happy, or trying to prove that I can be the better person. I'm tired of being that person. I don't want to prove that I can be the better person. I think that 2025, honestly, is going to be my villain year. And we hear it a lot, but I think that as a Pisces woman, I have a lot of water in my chart, and I know some of y'all feel like zodiacs and all that is the woo-woo, but that is where I am. With me having a lot of water in my chart, I have the ability to empathize on a deep level with people. Even people that I don't necessarily have the best feelings toward, I have the ability to empathize. And because my empathy and my awareness for others and my awareness for myself is so strong, I tend to be that person that wants to prioritize the world's feelings. And I feel like I'm going on a tangent and don't even know where I'm going with this. But I think like I'm just an overly emotional individual. And as someone who has experienced a lot of hurt at the hands of others, I never want to be that person that inflicts hurt or pain on anyone else. And oftentimes that results in me sacrificing my own lack of pain for the sake of other people. And I just don't want that for me anymore. That's dead. That's over with. We leaving that in 2024. Before we get to number 2, an intermission for coffee is necessary. Okay. So, another big thing that I want to leave in 2024 is when things don't happen as I expect them to, or when things don't go as planned, feeling a sense of depletion when it comes to my confidence. I think that this may be something that we all struggle with, but when we're working towards something, we feel really, really confident about it. We are probably at our highest peak when we are excited about something new and we're pursuing something new. And we have all the confidence in the world when we're pursuing it. And then when it doesn't go as planned, we take that as a personal attack on who we are, a personal attack on what we're capable of. And our lack of progress is never a reflection of our ability or our knowledge or our skills. It's never a reflection of what we are capable of accomplishing. It just means it wasn't time for that to manifest or come about. Or it just means that it didn't happen right now because something greater is happening later on down the line. Or it could absolutely mean that it's never going to happen. But again, even if it never happens, that is not a reflection of what you are capable of, if that makes sense. This year was one of the years that I spent too much time, like way too much time, questioning my abilities, questioning my power, questioning my strength, questioning my choices. And a lot of that, again, stems from overcompensating or lack of self-preservation and being in the presence of other people that were projecting and forcing these thoughts and these feelings on me. When you are surrounded by the right people and you are in the right places and the right spaces and environments, it is very rare that you experience heavy levels of self-doubt or you're questioning yourself and lacking in confidence. Your environments, the people you surround yourself with, everything that you do will always empower you and always uplift you. This is why self-preservation is important. If you are someone who struggles with confidence and your confidence often takes a blow when things do not work out as planned, especially there are so many people right now. One, I want you all to be mindful of the fact that we are going to see an influx of creativity, I believe, in 2025. We are going to see a lot of people flexing their creative muscle. And that is going to look like seeing new content creators, new streamers, new bloggers, new clothing lines, new designs. It's going to look like a little bit of everything. And sometimes when you see people operating within themselves and operating in their lane, that can sometimes make you feel a little nervous or a little scared. I want to be the first one to remind you that confidence is a muscle. And the more you work on it, the more you flex your confidence, the more you show up self-aware, self-assured, the less chances you have of your confidence taking a blow when something doesn't happen in the way that you want it to. This is a time and a year for us to practice showing up and showing up in a way that we are unapologetic about who we are. We are unapologetic about who we feel about how we feel about ourselves, and letting the world know I'm exactly who I think I am. And if you don't like that, you don't feel good about it, that's your problem, not mine. Every space that you enter in 2025, don't second guess that space. You're there for a reason. Everything that you put your hands on in 2025, don't second guess your ability to execute. Even if you execute it and it doesn't land the traction that you want it to land, you never know how it's going to play out in the future. Don't second guess what you've done and what you've created. Your time is your time. Keep pressing forward. Keep moving forward. don't let anything sway your confidence and how you feel about yourself. Your word for 2025 is unapologetic. Or should I say our word for 2025? Our word for 2025, this community here, is unapologetic. Because we are not going to apologize for anything. We are not going to apologize for preserving our energies and protecting ourselves. We are not going to apologize for being overly confident and setting boundaries. We're just not going to do it. We're just not. The third thing that I want to not carry with me in 2025 is not necessarily something that I struggled with this year. I don't think I struggled with it at all. But as I'm moving into a phase in life where it's going to require more exposure, more eyes on me, more eyes on my platform, something that I want to be intentional about not dealing with or not struggling with is not fully embracing who I am. I've gotten very comfortable in my skin over the years. And one thing that I notice when a lot of people start to garner more followers, gain more exposure, one of the first things that they sacrifice is themselves. There is some connection between a greater platform or a larger platform and the inability to remain authentic. I will say that I've spent a lot of time in the past suppressing parts of myself. And I think that I've suppressed parts of myself wanting to make other people feel comfortable, wanting to tone myself down so it doesn't make other people feel a certain type of way about me. But one of the things that I said earlier this month was, when I was growing up, I wish I had known and understood fully who I was. Not that I just think I'm the grand dame, but on certain occasions, yes, I am. But not that I just think that, I'm a Beyonce or anything, but I think that I spent a lot of time not understanding who I am. And had I understood that when I was going through high school and going through my early years of adulthood in my 20s, I wouldn't have tried to force myself into spaces that did not align with me. I would not have tried to force myself to be around people that were not on my level. And when you understand who you are, it's not crazy to say that this does not align with me, this is not on my level. But I think a lot of times, just for the sake of fitting in, for the sake of wanting to have community, we'll try to force things. We'll try to force connections. We'll try to force community. And them ain't your people. That's okay. That is okay. That they are not your people. Keep moving. If being who you are and embracing who you are fully and showing that and being 100% confident in that, if that makes other people uncomfortable, it's just going to have to make them uncomfortable. And you're going to have to be okay with that. I think one of the things that we realize the most is like, oh, how I dress or how I look or how I show up triggers people. My joy may trigger people. My happiness may trigger people. My ability to embrace life and show up regardless of what happens to me may be a problem for other people. But that is not my problem. And it is not my job to tone myself down, make myself appear to be something that I am not. The goal is not to try to be relatable to everybody. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. You start to build community, you start to build traction, and the goal is to continue to be relatable to the people who see you. But there then becomes this desire, I want to be relatable to everybody. And that is incredibly unrealistic. Not everybody is going to relate to you. Not everybody is going to understand you. Not everybody is going to see you. I tweeted about this a little bit ago, but my goal is not to be seen and heard by everybody. I want to be seen and heard by the right people. I want to be seen and heard by the people who value me, who value my message, who value my thoughts and my words, my content. I want to be seen and heard by my community. Nothing more, nothing less. The fifth thing, overcommitment. I don't want to overcommit to nothing. I don't want to overpromise. I want to leave that behind this year. I find myself stretched way too thin a lot. A lot of it just comes from saying yes to things, like simple things. Running an errand for someone, and I talked about this on one of the recent episodes of my podcast, Living Dvnly. If you haven't listened to it, it's available on all platforms that you can stream podcasts. On one of the recent episodes, I talked about having the ability to say no. Saying no or not saying yes when you want to say no. We can't focus on where we're headed. We can't prioritize what we need to prioritize when we're overcommitting ourselves. When we're saying yes to too many things and we're juggling too many things. This is your time to focus on you. This is your time to prioritize your goals, your wins, your success. And you can't do that if you're overcommitting and prioritizing other people's needs and their desires, while also trying to meet the demands of your own life. 2025 is about quality and not quantity. It doesn't matter how much we're seeing, doing, how many places we can be. It's not about that. It's about finding the things and prioritizing the things that matter. In 2025, I'm fully committed to focusing on fewer things, but those fewer things being things that are done with quality, things that are done with intention, and things that are 100% rooted in authenticity. 2025 is just about doing things with depth, doing things that have a meaning. Again, doing things that are intentional. Saying no is going to be a big part of my vocabulary in the coming year, and I can only hope the same for all of you. Where we're going and where we are headed, no is going to be a big word that is going to need to be leveraged over and over and over again. Lastly, I want to leave behind playing it safe. I've always had a fear of taking risks. And it's funny because I talked about the fact that I'm a Pisces, and I think that Pisces are known to be these individuals who are delusional and aloof, and I think we are in so many instances. We can be, but I don't think we get enough credit for our ability to overanalyze, overthink, and overprocess things. Sometimes that is good. Sometimes it is to our benefit, and other times it is to our detriment. It comes into play negatively when we lack the ability to just go for it. We will overprocess everything. Well, what if this happens? What if this happens? And I don't necessarily think that it's just a Pisces thing. I just think that it's a part of just being human. I have played it safe in so many areas of my life. I have downplayed or been afraid to showcase my art. I've been afraid of putting myself out there and experiencing or hearing rejection. I've been afraid to fail. And when you carry that fear or that inability to just take a risk, the failure is in not trying. The failure is in not pursuing it and not going for it. I remember there was a time when there was nothing that I would not do. If I had it in my mind, I would go for it. If I wanted to create a digital magazine, I was going to do it. If I wanted to record a podcast and talk about whatever was on my mind, I was going to do it. I had a podcast called The Core way back when. If I wanted to get on YouTube and randomly record a video and didn't care about how I looked, didn't care about full glam, I was going to do it. Somewhere, I stopped having that strength and that ability to just go for it. And I want to abandon that in the coming year. Something that I realize is that stepping out of our comfort zone is where growth happens the most. When we are in uncharted waters, unfamiliar territory, that's when we're going to sprout. That's when we're going to grow. And I feel it in my bones. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my spirit. This is a year for me where it is going to be uncharted territory, uncharted waters, and in a good way, in the most blessed way. And I'm thankful in advance right now, but I really, really, really want to leave behind that fear of not stepping out on faith. 2025 is the year of taking leaps of faith. If it scares me, if I'm worried about what people may think, if I'm worried about perception, whatever the case, even if I have those feelings, I'm doing it anyway. And you should too. It is so much better to try and it not work out in the way we want it to than to not do it at all. So from the top, I'm leaving behind lack of self-preservation, lack of confidence, also leaving behind any feelings about being myself, understanding who I am and embracing that fully, and any feelings of showing up and not being my whole self or being unapologetic about who I am when I step into a room, because despite what people think, despite how people may feel, I am that girl and I will forever be her and I will always be her. I need everybody to get that and understand that I will always be her. I am her. I've been her. For a lot of people, I am the blueprint. Let's acknowledge that. And that's just what it's going to be. And that's what it's going to be in 2025. Her is here. We are here. There's no getting around that. And I need everybody to get used to that. Also, leaving behind overcommitment, that fear of taking risks, letting go of these feelings, if you're choosing to, is going to be a gift to yourself. It is going to be a gift to yourself that will help you win, that will help you succeed, that will help you be comfortable and become comfortable, way more comfortable than you already are with who you are at your core. Leaving these things behind is the gift that is going to create a clean slate on this path to who we are meant to be, who we are called to be. So if you are making a list of your own of things that you want to leave behind in 2024, let me know. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment if this video resonated with you. I would also love to hear that. If you feel like someone that you know and that you love could absolutely be inspired from this video or learn something from it, please do share it with them. If you loved today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is just the beginning of more conversations like such. And yeah, let's just continue to inspire each other to go into this new year with intention, purposeful, meaningful intentions, and being our most authentic selves. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next video.